Bro, you just dissed me for the final time, bro. You just showed me disrespect. The only course of action left is to take us to the ring. This coming Monday night, we're gonna duke it out for keepers, and I will climb to the top rope and jump and kick you in the face. And I've been training all my wrestling skills, so I will surely win. It doesn't matter if it's submission, elimination, or just in. When I beat you, everyone will know how weak you are. You'll lose your job. I'll take your fans and take your girl, and then I'm gonna take your belt.
Welcome to Marking Out in the Morning. It is October 8th, 9:03 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm the Audacity. We're coming to you live from Audacity Solutions Studios in Des Moines, Iowa. This is the first and only live daily morning call-in pro wrestling news and rumors podcast. So thanks for hanging out. If it is also 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, 4 p.m. Swedish, then that means you're listening live on Blog Talk Radio, or you've jumped on Periscope to watch me do this. So good morning to you. We're gonna get your 30 minutes of show in and out, so you are up to date on all the news, rumors, results, and gossip that you could possibly want. If you have anything you'd like to say while the show is going on, you can hop onto Periscope. Shout out at me there. I try to keep my eyes open on Periscope as much as I can during the show. You can also tweet at me. I got my Twitter notifications up at all times at HEELZiggler_com. Or if you want to call like the good old days, 657-383-1786. It's, yeah. You should get a hold of us. And if you want to find out, if you're listening later, right now, if you're on YouTube right now or iTunes or Stitcher, and you want to be able to listen to this live so you get the information as soon as it comes out of my mouth, then hop on to Twitter, HEELZiggler_com, because HEELZiggler.com sponsors the show. Follow us on Twitter. Every morning you'll get the links to the live Periscope and the live Blog Talk Radio. And you can just subscribe and follow us on Blog Talk Radio and Periscope as well, so then you're notified by those means. Anyway, today we're going to talk about NXT TakeOver from last night. Hello to Danielle in Brazil in the Periscope room. We're going to take a look at SmackDown tonight without giving you any spoilers. We are going to talk about Daniel Bryan and the rumor of him leaving WWE to wrestle elsewhere. We're going to talk a little bit 2K16, because what other video game is there to talk about? Always fun stuff to talk about, 2K16. We're going to talk a little bit about a new gig that Corey Graves has. And Jimmy Snuka arrived in court yesterday for the first thing you do when you arrive to court. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Look at WWE.com's 5-point SmackDown preview, although, as is always the case, they basically never have it up. I have to go look for it. So I'm going to start looking for it now, so that by the time I'm ready to actually talk about SmackDown, I don't have to click through 8 or 9 links just to friggin' find out what's going on SmackDown. The good thing is I have a spoiler-free SmackDown preview that we're going to go through here in a little bit. So you'll know all the matches without any of the results, because look, it's easy to find spoilers, but I'm giving you spoiler free so you can know what to expect without knowing how it all turns out. So that will be towards the end of the show. It is 5 minutes after. That means I need to get into the business. So the first thing we're going to do, for those of you listening on YouTube or to the podcast, you're going to get my all-time favorite sound effect, because we're going to give you some results.
Spoiler alert, 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 spoiler alert.
So, last night, NXT TakeOver Respect, one of the most anticipated NXT shows thus far. It kind of snuck up on me. I didn't realize it was coming so quickly. Here's the results real quick before I give you my commentary. The show opened with Finn Balor and Samoa Joe defeating Dash and Dawson. Right after that, Rhino and Baron Corbin defeated Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. Asuka, I don't know how they pronounce it. Asuka is how it sounds like they're saying it. It looks like Azuka when you read it. She defeated Dana Brooke, made her tap out. Apollo Crews defeated Tyler Breeze. Samoa Joe and Finn Balor win the Dusty Rhodes tournament, and Bayley obviously retained against Sasha Banks. So those are the results. That's the bare bones of it. But I'm going to go into a little detail about it. I assume most of you who are listening to this, are not people who have not already heard what's going on. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell you what I think about it. First of all, I wasn't a huge fan of the idea of either of these two kind of, I don't know if you want to call them super teams, but Finn Balor and Samoa Joe and Baron Corbin and Rhino. Those are just two impressive singles competitors who they just put on a team, and those guys beat out Enzo and Big Cass. They beat out Jason Jordan and Chad Gable, the VOD villains, Blake and Murphy, all these other established tag teams. You let these idiot combos just beat them, which I think is stupid. I mean, if you want to make Joe and Finn look strong or whatever, then book them, win a couple matches, but whatever. That's my take on that. I really think, I don't like Dash and Dawson. I think they should have been eliminated a long time ago. So I would have been fine with Finn Balor and Samoa Joe going to the finals to face off against Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. Finn Balor and Samoa Joe having a little miscommunication. Jordan and Gable get the tournament trophy, and Samoa Joe and Finn Balor start a program that ends at the TakeOver event in England. I believe that's like December-ish maybe? Whenever that is. October, November. It's probably December. I can't remember, and I'm not looking it up. So, anyway, that's how I feel about the tag team stuff and those involved in said tag team match. Asuka, she defeated Dana Brooke. We did get the Pat, which is one of my favorite things going on in NXT these days. But, dude, this Asuka, she's amazing. She's really talented. I can see why she was killing it over in Japan. She's going to make everyone in NXT pay attention. Any of the legitimate wrestlers still left, like Bayley, like, I don't know, are there other legit wrestlers left? I mean, Blue Pants, Eva Marie. So she came in at the right time. Emma still hangs out down there. Dana Brooke's not bad at all. This was the best I've seen Dana Brooke. So no surprise, though, that Asuka made her look good. I'm going to call her Azuka. I know they keep saying it's Asuka. I don't know how they're saying it. Anyway. Yeah, so it's interesting to see. It looked like for a minute they were going to push Eva Marie super hard towards the NXT Women's Championship. She didn't even make an appearance, didn't have a mention, didn't have a backstage promo, had nothing at TakeOver Respect. So maybe they have decided, like, nope, she's not ready. We have Asuka. We're going to push her. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. I'm just saying it could be. And I'm not going to lie, Asuka is really talented. And for what it's worth, I think she's pretty hot. Then we also had Apollo Crews and Tyler Breeze. This one I was confused what they were trying to do with it, because I'm confused, I guess, in general with what they're trying to do with Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze is really pretty over at the NXT crowd, even though he's a heel. But so many times we've seen things that were over in NXT not translate onto Raw. The Ascension is a great example. Bo Dallas is a great example. The Lucha Dragons and Neville aren't as over on the main roster as they were in NXT. So There's some of them have made the transition all right. I mean, Neville's not doing too bad. Seth Rollins obviously did all right. Dean Ambrose, Roman Reigns, those guys clearly did okay. But Big E seems to be doing quite all right, etc. Paige, obviously. A lot of them do okay, but a lot of them also doesn't translate. So, that being said, I don't know what they're doing at Tyler Breeze. I don't know if they're going to move him up to the main event soon, to the main roster. I don't see him being NXT champion. Unless they play kind of an angle like, after a while that, he's been at this, he's the longest guy to be chasing it and never win it kind of thing, where he has one last chance and he wins it and then he goes on to the main roster shortly thereafter. That's my guess. Anyway, Apollo Crews, we'll talk about Adam Rose just 1 second. Good point, Danny. Apollo Crews, I assume he's going to get pushed pretty hard. I don't know if he'll be champion. He seems like the kind of guy that Triple H would like. He's ridiculously athletic, almost as big as Big E. Man, it's insane. That guy's going to be ridiculous. So stay tuned for Apollo Crews and what happens with him. Adam Rose, was he at NXT? Because I was kind of distracted a little bit while I was watching it last night. He is on NXT a lot. His new party pooper crap. So we'll see if, hopefully that doesn't get anything too involved in NXT. I know he does a lot on like main event and superstars, because why not? So I don't know how much he'll get on NXT. Hopefully not much. I don't want him down there doing that. I'm over it. Anyway, back to NXT TakeOvers matches. The main event, Bayley, in not a surprise at all, defeated Sasha Banks. They went 3-2. I thought they were going to pull a Michaels Bret Hart and go into overtime while someone was in a submission move. But that did not happen. Sasha tapped with about 5 seconds left. Which, whatever. I'm glad it was 3-2. Sasha Banks had the lead a bunch. Got to pull off most of her moves. Everyone looked really good. You could tell they did the Dusty Rhodes Trophy thing right before their match. And I'm pretty sure those girls must have cried over it. They both looked like they were just finished crying when they came out. Bayley took a little bit longer to recover. And I'm sure the emotion of being in the biggest match of her life did not help calm her tear ducts whatsoever. So, anyway, it was a good match. I thought their last match was better. I thought actually Asuka looked as good as Bayley or Sasha, so I was not super impressed. The build-up was too big, but for the first ever women's main event and first ever women's Iron Man match, I thought it said like we can do it. It didn't say like holy shit. It was not like the Shawn Michaels Razor Ramon first ladder match, but they did show like they can make it work. They can make it entertaining. And with that, I am done talking about NXT TakeOver. We're gonna take a look real quick. We're gonna buzz through in about 10 minutes over any of the headlines, then leave the last 5 minutes for SmackDown preview, so that you're out of here in 30 minutes with everything you need to know to talk to all of your wrestling nerd friends about up to date. Daniel Bryan, this will be classified as a rumor, but WWE officials still are not clearing him to wrestle. He's getting rather impatient because he feels healthy, and I believe doctors outside of WWE say he's fine. He's medically cleared, but WWE won't let him back in. So there are rumors that he will be going to CMLL or New Japan when his contract with WWE expires. That was something that the Wrestling Observer newsletter threw out there, and so since they said it, people think it's got to be true. My guess is that it's not true. This would be a very... I mean, we saw what happened to Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle tried the same thing, and, it didn't work out that well for him. So hopefully something works out where Daniel Bryan comes back. Maybe he takes over the U.S. title when John leaves for a few months, which we talked about yesterday. If you haven't heard, John Cena's leaving for a few months after Hell in a Cell. So that's it. Daniel Bryan. He likes the Lucha Libre style, which is why people are saying CMLL. He used to work in New Japan, or he almost had a deal with New Japan in 2010, I guess. So that's the other big thing they're talking about. Make of it what you will. No confirmation in any way, just that it was in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, which, you know, who really gives a flip about that? Moving on, 2K16 downloadable content. All of this information has been released as far as what we'll be able to download. I'm going to read straight off the WWE 2K16 website. The downloadable content will include a story-driven 2K showcase surrounding the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2015 inductees. So go remember who that was, but there's a storyline-driven showcase. Access to new moves, unlockable content, and player progression. I don't know what player progression means, but the other things, I guess, are just additional options. More WWE legends. And WWE and NXT superstars. I'll get to that, who you can download on top of the 120. They will begin being released late in 2015 into 2016. Let me see the goodies we want to talk about. The accelerator, yada yada. If you're familiar with the game, you know what that is. If you're not familiar with it, you're not going to care. I have not heard much about The Rock coming back at the end of the year, Danny, but I will talk about that here after 2K16. We'll talk about it real quick. I don't care. Hall of Fame Showcase. The 2015 Hall of Fame Showcase includes Randy Savage versus Jake Roberts, Rikishi versus The Rock, Alundra Blaze versus Paige, Larry Zbyszko and Arn Anderson versus Ricky Steamboat and Dustin Rhodes, Tatsumi Fujinami versus Ric Flair, the Bushwhackers versus the Natural Disasters, the Outsiders versus Harlem Heat. That's going to be $10. Legends Pack, you can download Big Boss Man, Dusty Rhodes, Lita, Mr. Perfect, Roddy Piper, and Trish Stratus. New move packs include some Kevin Owens moves, some Paige moves, some Nikki Bella moves, Finn Balor moves, if you're that desperate. Future Stars packs means you can download Samoa Joe, Diego, Fernando, Blake, and Murphy. Doesn't sound that great, whatever. Yeah, season pass for $25. The end. So that's 2K16 news. Corey Graves, if you have not heard, he is going to be writing for AP Magazine. Yeah, he's going to be writing for Alternative Press. He's going to have a monthly column called Stay Loud, where he's just going to be writing about music, which he says is the only passion he has in his life that is as strong as his passion for wrestling. So if you like music and you like Corey Graves, you can check that out. And let's see the website's details here. Trying to see when it starts. Let me click that link real quick. Also, stuff I learned from WrestlingInc.com. They thought Nia Jax would maybe debut on TakeOver Respect. Obviously, that did not happen. So we'll see if she comes back next Wednesday. Not even a mention of her, or even Marie. So who knows what they're doing with the Divas division now. That's really all the news from that link on WrestlingInc.com. Show with Corey Graves. Stay loud. Hashtag Stay Loud with Corey Graves. Hashtag All Press. Does not say when, but he's chatting with some of your favorite artists like A Day to Remember, Neck Deep, Taking Back Sunday, Sum 41, and DMC. So there's that. He's still doing Culture Shock as well. Corey Graves, just all over the place, doing everything. Anything else on there worth mentioning? No, not really. Finally, Superfly appeared in court yesterday for whatever the first step is you do, where you just go find out what you're being accused of officially, I guess. They waived the preliminary hearing in exchange for transcripts of the grand jury testimony that resulted in charges being filed against Snuka. So basically what happened, if you didn't already know, he was acquitted a long time ago, but then he wrote something about making some crazy decisions, quote, a little crazy, related to alcohol, steroids, and cocaine, which made the jury rethink their decision that maybe he really did kill this woman. So that's what they'll be looking at, re-examining to see if it still looks like he killed that woman. So they waived that. He's being cleared of criminal charges 2 years ago. Grand jury is taking another look in light of the 2013 evidence. This has been 2 years since they started looking at it again. Basically, they said 30 years ago when the case was thoroughly investigated by the DA's office, they determined there was no crime committed. 30 years has not changed that. Snuka has stomach cancer, underwent surgery. His arraignment should take place in November, and the actual trial next year sometime. So this will be a little bit coming in the next few months. Jimmy Snuka, whatever you think of him, there's that. And finally, let's take a look at SmackDown. Dustin and Danny, thanks for hanging out in Periscope. You can give me your votes on some of these. I'm going to run through the SmackDown spoiler-free preview. While I'm doing that, you let me know which of these matches, when I move on, you guys looking forward to seeing the most. How about that? Matches include Dolph Ziggler versus Big E, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Natalya versus Team Bella, Ryback versus Rusev, King Barrett versus Neville, and Randy Orton and Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. Me personally, of those matches, I'm definitely looking forward to Ziggler versus Big E the most. I liked when they were buddies back in the day. I always wanted them to have a really long feud because I really like both of those guys. So that will be interesting to see how they play out that match, especially with the ending of Raw, where Dolph Ziggler accidentally kicked John Cena in the face and helped the New Day win, or at least destroy everyone, and look tough as they went out. The Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Natalya thing, I don't know why they're acting like maybe Paige isn't breaking up with the rest of the group. It was so weird. Now they're having her job to Natalya. I don't know what that's all about either. Hopefully this will explain a little bit about it. I don't think Paige is ready to be done yet. So I'm confused what they're doing with all of that. I just know. Not quite sure. Team Bella, I think Alicia and Brie should be thankful that Nikki is still on really good terms with WWE. Ryback versus Rusev. Does anyone care about Ryback at all? I mean, Rusev is funny when he's dealing with Dolph Ziggler and Lana and Summer Rae, but I don't really care about him against Ryback. Ryback sucks. Rusev, you know, hopefully you can make something decent happen with that. King Barrett versus Neville. If this turns into a three-way feud with Stardust, I'm all for that. I would like to see Barrett come out on top because he is King of the Ring, and we don't want the King of the Ring to be a joke. I want it to be a serious thing again. Maybe he can take the U.S. title off of John Cena. Yeah, Ryback is the new Big Show. He's, I think, worse than the Big Show, personally. So, yeah, I hope King Barrett wins the triple threat with Neville and Stardust and goes and takes the U.S. title from Cena and makes a good run as King before next year comes around. In the main event, another match I just don't really care about the match. Randy Orton and Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. The odds of Dean Ambrose and or Luke Harper getting involved are like 95%. The odds of this resolving anything are like 1%. So I don't know what they're going to do that's going to be entertaining this time around, you know. That's not a dig on any of those guys. I mean, I'm not really a Roman Reigns fan or whatever, but I don't mind when someone cool like Bray Wyatt's kicking his ass. But, you know, whatever. I will get over it. I'm going to quit complaining about everything I complain about. Let's do the 5-point preview real quick. We're going to burn through those 5 questions. Question 1, WWE.com's 5-point preview. Can the Viper and the Big Dog strike down Fear? So basically, can Roman Reigns and Randy Orton defeat Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman? It's not going to be a clean finish, I don't think, either way. It's just SmackDown, so no one cares. I'm going to go with, if there's a winner, I'm going to go with the Wyatts cheating to win. Can anyone silence the New Day? Well, Ziggler's not going to, because WWE does not love Dolph Ziggler. So they're going to cheat their way to a win over Ziggler, which is fine, because that's what they should do, and Dolph Ziggler deserves that. I wish he would turn New Day and join him as their 4th member. It's not going to happen. That's just in my dreams. But there's no one who will silence the New Day this week. How about that? Maybe Dudley's at the next pay-per-view, maybe. Who will join forces with Charlotte and Becky Lynch? Well, sorry if I ruined that for you. We won't talk about it, because if you missed it last time, but now you're listening, now you won't know. Sorry for yawning. How long will it take for Ruru to put a ring on it? He said he wants to wait till he has gold around his waist before Summer Rae can have gold around her finger. Maybe he will take back the U.S. title from John Cena. And finally, will the King make a triumphant return to the ring? King Barrett returned with a bang just over a week ago, laying out Neville and Stardust this past Monday. He cost Neville the match. So Barrett very well may win the match. That's my answer to that question. That's the end of the show, guys. That's all I got. However you're listening to us, do it every other way too. We're on Blog Talk Radio, we're on YouTube, we're on Periscope, we're on Twitter, we're on the phone, we're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher. Did I already say those things? I didn't sleep very long last night. I'm a little delirious. So that's going to be it for me, guys. You got all your stuff in 30 minutes or less. Now you know all the latest gossip and news to go tell all your friends about. You heard it here first. Marking out in the morning. Gonna play the closing theme song. And we are done, my friends. Dunzo. Later, Periscope. Later, YouTube.
Marking Out in the Morning is proud to be recorded in Des Moines, Iowa at Audacity Solutions Studios. You can check us out at HEELZiggler.com. Follow us on Twitter at HEELZiggler_com. The song you hear at the beginning of the show was recorded in Des Moines, Iowa by my friend Campbell D'Souza with recording studios of Phil Young. You likely also heard the song Parsec by the artist Arma Piros, which I downloaded for free at noisetrade.com. The album Timelines, and got permission from Arma Piros on Twitter for that. I also downloaded the song you're hearing right now at noisetrade.com. It is by a band called Ampersand. The song is called Aurora Borealis. It's on their album Trial and Triumph. Available for free at noisetrade.com. I haven't got their permission for this yet, but I hope to do so in the future. I tweet them about it, so we'll see what happens. You may also hear a more aggressive song that would be Ready, Set, Fire by a website called incompetech.com, where you can download stuff like that to use for your own goods, royalty free. Marking Out in the Morning is here every morning, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. You can subscribe to our podcast at iTunes or Stitcher. Just search for Audacity Solutions Podcast. And of course, you can listen live every day or listen to the entire archive at blogtalkradio.com/Audacity Solutions.